Hello friends, today in this tutorial I will be showing you that how to basically implement shared preferences in order to store, read and delete data from your Android application. So we will be building this application in Java Android Studio. Let me launch this application and show to you the live preview here. Let me install this app inside my phone here. You will see that this is basically the app here. It contains these two input fields. Uh, Here the user can enter the name and this is the age here. Default value is 0 and this is for the name here. So it's a demo which we will be building here, and also a button is also there guys of delete data. If you press that data, all the data present inside your shared preferences will be deleted. Shared preferences, if you don't know guys, shared preferences is a way by which you can store data inside your Android applications. It is basically the approach, very simple approach by which we can store very small amount of data that you want to store, such as this key value pairs. So if I now enter any sort of name here, let's suppose I enter my name and then I enter my age here. So for some reason guys, let's suppose your phone battery goes off or you close the application. Let's suppose if I close this application, if I close this, now once again if I open this application guys, this data will be persisted. If I search for my application, if I again open this, you will see this data is persisted. This data has stayed across multiple sessions. If you switch off your phone guys, if you switch off this phone and again turn it on and again open the app, this data will stay. So this is basically meant by shared preferences. We are not using any sort of external database. It is all stored inside your internal memory. The data is stored. You can change this data here. Let's suppose if I change this again and if I close this again and if I again reopen the app here, so this changes will be reflected back. You will see that. You can see that now. This is the functionality we will be building, and now if I click this delete data guys, you will see all the data will be deleted. And now if I basically again open this, the data will be deleted. You will see that now nothing is present. So we will be looking at guys how we can insert the data inside shared preferences, how we can display it from the shared preferences when we open the app, and how we can delete that by this delete button. So all the source code guys of this application is given in the description of the video. I have given all the source code. I have written a complete blog post on my tutorial website, so you can get all the source code from that blog post. The link is given in the description of the video. So now let's get started by building this application. So here I will simply make a new project and I will choose empty activity, and then I will simply say store data project, and I will choose the language as Java guys. You can also choose Kotlin, depends upon you, and then click finish. And now your application is building guys. You will see that this is your Gradle is building. So just wait for the Gradle to finish and then we will build our application. So the very first thing we will do guys inside this application, as you see all the source code is given. So what I will say is that if you drag down, you will find out this is all the source code. So I will step by step tell you what you need to do. So first of all, you need to go to your blog post, and here we will simply copy paste the XML code. So here you will need to go to activity underscore main.xml file, which is present inside res layout and activity main.xml. So I will not just tell you this XML code, you just need to copy paste it. Let me explain you which are the widgets out there. So there are three widgets out there. First is the text view, which simply says the heading, which is shared preferences demo. If you also see in the design here, this is basically the design of the app. There are two text fields where the user can enter the name and the age, and then we got a button of delete data, and we are using this constraint layout, relative layout. You will see that, and we have got a button also which will say delete data. So we have given all the IDs here. You will see to each and every element, to this button, to this edit text, which is edit 2, edit 1. So this is basically the XML code guys. Now if I launch this application on my mobile phone guys, it will now basically launch this. So it will just take hardly some time. It is just doing it process. So once it finishes the Gradle process guys, it will install this app on my mobile phone. So just wait, it is just building the Gradle. So just wait. So now it is launching the app here. So you will see it has launched on my emulator. You will see that on the right hand side. This is basically the emulator. If you want to see on the real device, you just need to choose Realme, and here I will run it on an actual device here. So now you will see that it is installing it. So just wait. So this is my application. You will see that basically, guys. So now if I enter something here and enter age here, and now if I close this app, this data will not stay. If I once again open this uh, app here, so you will see the data will be gone. So now we need to store that data using shared preferences. So we will be looking at how we can do that. So let me just close this, and now we need to go to main activity.java file, and here we will write the actual code, guys. So first of all, what we need to do, so here we need to simply at the top, we need to get all the, let me just, so here guys, we need to declare some variables right here at the top. So this will be for edit text, and there are two ones, name, age, and then we will got a simple button for the delete button, delete underscore button. And here we will be getting the references of each of these elements by find view by id r.id.edit1. Similarly for age, find view by id r.id.edit2. And for the button, guys, we will say find view by id r.id.delete button. That's all. So after getting all the references, guys, now we will basically implement two methods, guys, which will be useful in order to implement this functionality. So whenever, guys, let's suppose if you basically minimize the app, this function executes, which is called as on pause. If you minimize your app, or if you close it, this function executes automatically, which is called as on pause. So now if you just write this function on pause here, this Android Studio will automatically give you the fill. So if you just write here on pause, this is the method here, guys. You need to implement this method here. So it has automatically added this super call here. And whenever you restart your app, guys, automatically now when you want to restart your app, let's suppose I search for my app here, which is this app. So whenever you restart or start your app, this function executes, which is called as on resume. So now if you search, if you just type this method here, just type on resume, or Android Studio will automatically give you. This is on resume. So this executes whenever you close your app, and this executes whenever you restarts or open your app. So here we will be, whenever we close the app, we need to store the data inside shared preferences. So whatever it is written inside the input fields, we will be storing it inside shared preferences. And whenever we reopen the app, we will be reading the data from shared preferences. So first of all, we will store the data, guys. We will inside our on pause. We will basically, what we will do inside this on pause, we will basically make a new object of this shared preferences class, guys. So just import that and make the new object here. So we will say get shared preferences, and we will basically just call the name here. We will give it a name here. Let's suppose I give the name as test data, and then we need to provide the mode, guys. So there are various modes out there, but this will be default mode, which will be private mode. So here you will say mode underscore private. So this simply means that this the data which you are storing is only accessible to this app. It's not accessible to all the apps. There is also a public mode also, which is which allows you to basically other apps to also do access your data, but this is the most popularly used private. So after you declare this, guys, you will basically say shared preferences dot editor, and then we will call editor, and here we will say shared preferences edit. We will edit this values, we will try to insert some values inside it, so we can simply call this as uh, editor. And here this contains a method, guys, which is put string. You will see all these methods are available. If you want to put a boolean value, float value, integer, long, string set, we need to put a string value which is the name of the person. We will this here you need to give the key value pair. So here key will be name of the person, you can call it anything, and this is the actual value. So here we will get the value which the user entered using get text, and here we need to convert this to a string, so we will call toString. That's all. And similarly we will put the age as well. So for this we will use put integer, and here we will call this as age, and then we need to parse, convert that integer to string, so we will say integer parse int, and here we will say age dot get text, and then we will convert this to a string value like this. That's all. So this basically will push these two values, guys, which is the name of the person and the age of the person inside your shared preferences. And now we also need to apply them, apply the changes. So we will simply call here editor.apply. That's all. So now if you do that, guys, the changes will take place inside their shared preferences. And now whenever we reopen the app, guys, we do need to read those changes inside your on resume app here function. So here we need to basically read the data. So how we can do that? It's very easy. Inside this function, again we will declare shared preferences as such, and get shared preferences. We will give the name, the same name that we given when we created it. This is a name which is test data. So we will be opening it inside the private mode privately. So we will get the string value, which is the s1 we will call it, and this will be, we'll get the string. So here we will putting it, and here we are getting it, so that's why get string here. And then we will put the name. So this is the actual key value pair, so here we need to give the same key to access the value. So default value will be nothing, and then we will get the age as well, sh get int, and we will get the age. Default value will be 0. That's all. And now we will set the text to the input field, so whatever text is retrieved from shared preferences, and also the age as well, age set text. And here we need to convert the age to string, so we will wrap this inside string value of a. That's all. So that's all that you need to do, guys, for this application. And now if you reload the app, you will be able to store your data inside shared preferences. And now it is installing this app. If I again refresh, so now if I enter any sort of value here, let's suppose, guys, if I enter a value like so if I entered this value age, let's suppose, and now if I close this value, if I close the app, once again open the app here, so now you will see that, guys, this value will stay here. You will see that the name and the age is staying. If I again make some changes here, if I again make some changes to the age as well, again close this, and again if I open that, so now you can see the changes are reflected back here. Now if I want to press this button, guys, I need to delete this data which is stored inside shared preferences, and I need to clear this input field as well. So what we can do, we can bind a simple input handler on click listener to this button. So we can simply say here delete button set on click listener new view. So when we click on this button, guys, we need to simply delete all the data. So again we will get the shared preferences, get shared preferences. We will give the name of the shared preferences here, which is test data, and we will open it inside private mode. And this time we also need to get the editor here. Same here, same code, shared preferences, edit, and my edit. And basically this contains this method, guys, which is remove, which will actually remove this key here, which is name, and also we need to remove the age as well, so like this. And after this we also need to clear out the input field as well, so set text to nothing and age to also 0. So string dot value 0, that's all. And lastly, guys, we also need to apply the changes, so we can simply say here, that's all, my edit dot apply, that's all. So now it will delete all the things which are present inside shared preferences. And now if you hit the button, and now your app will be generated. So if I click the delete button now, you will see all the data will be clear out. And if you now reopen the app here, no data will be present here. You will see that nothing would be present. So in this way, guys, you can interact with shared preferences in Android applications to store some very small amount of data, such as settings or some kind of score if you are developing some kind of games here. It is not recommended to store a large amount of data because it is storing it inside your internal storage. So if you want to store a large amount of data, definitely use some database such as SQLite or external storage. So all the source code is given in the description of the video. Thank you very much for watching this.